Tommy currently works as a finance analyst at Patians Partners Limited, a prominent financial services firm recognized for its expertise in the capital markets. Tommy is a graduate of mathematics from the University of Benin, a certified financial modeling and valuation analyst, and also a member of the prestigious Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Beyond the numbers, Tommy's commitment to nurturing the next generation resonates through his active mentorship, inspiring millennials to unlock their potential and transcend boundaries. Outside work, he loves playing and watching football, adventures, traveling, and exploring nature. Overall, Tommy is a lover of God. All right, can we, with some emoji, can we welcome our speaker, Tommy Alimi, before he begins? Can I see some emoji, please? Can I see some reactions and emoji? All right. Mr. Tommy. Mr. Tommy Alimi. Mr. Tommy, can you hear me, please? I believe probably having some network issues. Definitely have him back. Mr. Tommy, can you hear me now? Anyone confirm if they can hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you clearly.
All right, thank you, Blessing.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Mr. Tommy.
Okay, sorry for the age. I don't know.
Mr. Tommy, are you connected with two devices? If you are connected with two devices, you may want to mute one of them.
Yes, I want to mute one.
All right, Mr. Tommy.
Is there improved there?
Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly now. The echo sound.
Hello?
And proceed. Can you hear me, Mr. Tommy?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly well. The echo sound is also gone.
So all right, thank you very much. Sorry for the little technical issues I had. I would have been on this call much more earlier. Thank you, Mubarak, for the introduction. I'm indeed honored. I want to, first of all, appreciate the founder and the convener of this organization, the global entrepreneur and the global entrepreneur and Learners Academy. In person of Dr. Favor Kile and every other member of the organization. Once again, it's my pleasure to be on this call with you. And I want to assure you that tonight's session is going to be a wonderful one. And you know why it's a wonderful one? Because it resonates with the times that we are today. Just came in from a wedding ceremony and I met a friend of mine whom I know how much he earns as salary. He's a big boy, he's in the tech industry. And he complains to me how difficult things have become, how expensive, and how the hardship has, been the order of things. And this reminds me that Sapa is nobody's mate. All right? Even the rich have their own share. They have their own share of this hardship that we experience in the nation. To add, petrol to the already burning fire, we see prices of, consumer goods escalating as the day goes by. And so it became very imperative for us to consider a conversation like this. This affects each and every one of us. The finance industry, we always like to say that your finance is your life. I've had a couple of people commit suicide, a couple of people, move from the city to the village, just because they were not able to properly manage their finances. Let me share my slide, please. Do I have the permission to share? All right. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your slide. You can put the slideshow so it can appear bigger. Put it on slideshow so it can appear bigger. All right.
Yeah, is that good?
Thank you. Also, before you continue, please, you're just joining me. Please mute your phone.
Sorry, I can't hear that.
Thank you very much. If you are just joining in, please mute yourself. Thank you very much. Mr. Tommy, over to you. You can proceed, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mubarak. So, like I said, this topic resonates with each and every one of us. And I was talking about people moving from the city to the village, people committing suicide just because they could not manage their finances properly. That is why it is so imperative, very, very important for us to really pay attention to conversations like this, as it's going to help us. It's more like a health therapy. So this is the topic before us today: financial literacy, a weapon to overcome Sapa. Now, for some of us who are on the call who are probably not from this side of the world, who may not have been used to the word Sapa. Sapa means hardship, poverty. And so how can we use financial literacy as a tool, as a weapon to overcome hardship? All right, so that is what we are talking about today. By the end of this presentation, what you will be able to do is that you would have acquired, financial knowledge and skills that will help you to manage your finances properly. All right, so this presentation does not teach how to get more money, right? Because you need to be able to secure and properly manage the one you have. There is one of the book of religion that says that he that is faithful in little will be faithful in much, right? So before we can even talk about getting more money, we need to first of all talk about how do we manage what we have now. All right, so this presentation is about how to manage your finances so that you don't go broke, you don't go into Sapa, or you don't go back to the village. This conversation is not about how to make more money. Am I clear? So, and by the end of this conversation, like I said, you would understand what exactly financial literacy is, and then you would have, you will know tools and then means by which you can properly manage. You'll be very, very, very positioned with proper perspective of how to manage your finances. So the conversation today, I will begin with telling you what financial literacy is all about, and then I'll proceed to make you see why it is important for us to be financially literate. All right, and then from there I would proceed to show you some possible causes of Sapa, why why individuals fall into that kind of situation where situation of hardship, Sapa. Why do people get? How did they get there? All right. Before you can even know how to come out of something, you must first of all be able to trace how you came there. All right. So I will also be, showing you how people come into that kind of a situation. Now, from there, I will then show you how to break out of that kind of a pit, right? Sapa is like a pit. I describe Sapa like a pit. People are falling in there, and then I want to show you how what might have possibly led people into that pit. Then after which we'll talk about how to come out of that pit. By what tools? By the tools of financial literacy. So I will also now describe to you the benefit that has to do with being financially literate. And then I'll call you to the action of paying attention to the finances and properly managing your finances. And then we'll have time for questions. I know we have lots of questions. All right. But as a disclaimer, this presentation is not an investment advice session. All right. But I'll try my possible best to, give this presentation in a layman's language and also attend to all of your questions. All right. Now, what is financial literacy? Sometimes some of us probably might have gone out. Maybe you are on a mission, you're traveling somewhere, and you haven't gotten to where you are going to, and then you feel like eating something. And at the point in time, you want to check your pocket. How much do I have? Let me know how much I have before I buy this thing, so that we don't have to beg for transport fare. Please, you can just one or two persons. Have you ever been in such situations before? Just unmute your mic or can you relate to such situation? Just unmute your mic and tell us. Situation whereby you have to check your pocket to know how much you have before you engage in one or two expenses.
All right. Let me go. Let me come in. Okay, so I want to share my own experience. That will be like so many years back when I was
All right.
was in my final year in the university then, and there was this event I wanted to attend, and I had planned that, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that, and just out hinting this to my friend that, oh, when we get to that event, I'll get this, I'll get that. Then the guy was like, "Are you sure?" The word, "Are you sure?" I was like, why would I not be sure what I'm saying? Then he told me that I should check the price of something online. What I wanted to get, he told me that I should check the price online. And I figured out, I feel like, are you serious? I'm not going again. And that was how it ended. After I did not attend that event. So it's actually sometimes it's painful when you actually plan to get some things and shockingly you just see that this is beyond your control for now, or this is beyond your means for now. So that's my
Yeah.
experience. Anyone else
Wow,
wants to
that's
share?
awesome. That's awesome. So would dissect your experience with the. Do you permit me with the presentation of today? Would while we are going through the presentation, would bring your experience alongside so that we can have a more practical a presentation. So it's not just going to be theory. Am I permitted to do that?
Yeah, yes, sir. Sure, sir.
All right, thank you very much. So it's on your screen there. What is financial literacy? We say it simply means having the knowledge and understanding about various financial concepts, tools, and practices that enable an individual to make informed and effective decisions. To make, those words are very key, informed and effective decisions regarding their personal finances. And this includes the likes of savings, investing, managing debt, insurance, and then retirement planning. But in a more simple way, let me save you of the too much of information here. Let's just put it very, very simply that it is the ability of an individual, that is I and you, to understand and manage our personal finances effectively. So your personal finances, money in, money out, finances. Finance has to do with money. All right. So your personal finance, money, that's the inflow and outflow of money. How having a clear understanding about how to properly and effectively manage it so that you can stay aloof hardship is what financial literacy is all about. And that is what we are here to talk about. So what knowledge do you need to have? What understanding do we need to have so that we can be able to properly manage uh, our finances well? This definition talks about financial concepts, tools, and practices. And then at the end of the definition, it talks about budgeting, a very, very powerful tool to manage your finances. Some people don't budget, all right? Mubarak had, an event he wants to attend. He had, made up his mind to attend, all right? Maybe, first of all, Socrates says, man, know thyself. All right, Mubarak has known that, okay, I want to attend this program. How much will it cost me to attend this program? All right, then I need to begin to budget. How do I get the money? First of all, before we end this conversation, I will talk about how to set financial goals. You understand? Because sometimes we can have something in mind that is way beyond our current possibilities. You understand? And then we go out of our ways, borrow, we do all of that, and eventually we are supposed to be financially smart, and then we are becoming financially foolish. You understand? So sometimes our desires, our aspirations are usually above our means. So financial literacy concept is talking about within your means. You understand? Within your means. Within your means. So it's not something you have to go and kill yourself for. Maybe you can get one of some loans, some easy loans and all of that, but within your means. So Mubarak wants to attend the program. He already knew he was going to attend, he was planning to attend the program. He had gotten the cost that would be incurred to attend the program. And then long before the time of the program, Mubarak would have sat down, look at his own means, and look at the possibility of saving up, all right, to meet up with that need. And then that is where the concept of budgeting comes in. We don't just earn everything and eat everything at once. You understand? We save for the rainy days. It may be difficult to save if we don't budget. It may be difficult to invest if we don't budget. All right? So there are rules to budgeting that many of us would have probably known, like the 50-30-20 rule, like the 50-30-20 rule. All right, so Mubarak knows that he wants to attend the program. His income, he sits down and says, okay, I want to budget on this income because of my goal, because of the program I want to attend. All right, so 50%, 50% of my income becomes is for my need. First of all, we should be able to differentiate between need and want. Need and want. Need is something that life depends on it. You cannot do without clothing, shelter, and food. And maybe some of us have that mobile and then to move around, fueling our cars, need. Why want are something you can probably do without, and then nobody will die. You can do without it, and heaven will not come down. You understand? Sometimes many of us we lose priorities when it comes to prioritizing need and want. So we put want above of need, and then we find it difficult. Then we begin to struggle with our finances. Somebody has salary and then has gone to the club to squander the money, and then when it's time to pay children's school fee, it becomes a problem. You understand? So we need to be able to have a clear understanding of what is our need, what is our want. We are talking about budgeting. So Mubarak sits down, he earns his income, he budgets. Okay, 50% of my salary goes for my needs, 30% of my salary goes for my savings towards that event. Why the remaining 20% goes for my want. All right. Or Mubarak can say 30% goes for investment for that program, 20% goes for investment. Already, I'm sure that program is something that will bring value to Mubarak. So that program can serve as an investment. So the 20% or 30% can go for that program as an investment, because the 50, 30, 20 is supposed to be for need, want, and savings or investment. So Mubarak can take the 20% for savings as saving towards that program. And so by the time the program comes, Mubarak has the finances. Maybe if it's not complete, maybe it's just left like 20,000, and you can easily get that from family and friends who can loan him. So Mubarak has the money to attend the program. Now, guess what? When Mubarak gets to the program, the big men who are there, who have the means far, far above Mubarak, maybe who earns maybe 100 times what Mubarak earns, they will be seated in the program with Mubarak. And then everybody feels Mubarak is a big boy. All right. What Mubarak has been able to do is he has financial literacy, and he has been able to properly and effectively manage his finances. All right. So it's not all about you having, it's about you planning. Right? Mubarak is in that event not because he actually has the funds to get to that event. Mubarak is in that event because he was able to plan himself financially into that event. All right, so financial literacy is about having that knowledge, having that understanding of various tools and concepts and practices that can enable you and I to properly make informed and effective decisions about our finances, just like Mubarak has done in the scenario I just portrayed. Now, without wasting much time, why then is financial literacy important? Mubarak was not able to attend the conference or the program because of lack of finances. That possibly financial budgeting and savings would have probably solved. Mubarak have had some savings, some emergency savings. Mubarak would have been able to go there, and then, for example, this week there was financial commitment I need to make. I had funds, but they are tied up, like just lock them up here and there. And then I need to make a financial commitment. I need to meet up with the financial obligation. And then I have a dollar account, and I still have some money. I just went there, liquidate the dollar to naira, withdrew. Then I met that financial obligation. I was not disgraced. I was not disappointed. I was not, how do I say it in English? Ojo to me, you understand? Because there was because I already had the knowledge of financial literacy, and I know that there has to be something on ground. You understand? I know many of us are of the opinion that one day we will leave all this thing and die. I beg, it's someone that knows about it that will enjoy it. Okay, if we think we will live for 2 years and then we live for 100 years, and then we have not been saving by eating everything because one day we will die, it's someone that does not know about it that we come and spend it. And then we want to live for 100 years. And then we have enjoyed while we were young when we can walk. And then when we now become old that we cannot walk, there's nothing to eat. So we have to really be smart about finances. As much as you don't want to just be stocking up money and be living as a pauper, you want to balance it. You want to live a comfortable life, and then you want to have something to fall back on in case of emergencies. Now, what are the importance of financial literacy? I have a quote here. I said, individuals with high financial literacy are more likely to have a retirement plan and save for emergencies. Somebody who have financial literacy, who is financially literate, which that person is more likely to have a retirement plan. Thank God for our organizations now, and then the government that makes it compulsory deduction, RSA, retirement saving account, you must have, and then they must put something in your account. But unfortunately, if you are not up to 60 years, you cannot access the account. Or if you have not worked for 35 years, yes, if you are not up to 60 years, and if you're up to 60 years, that's till then. So you have to wait till you are 60 years before you can access your retirement saving account. All right. So, but then you can save for your retirement outside of your retirement saving account. All right. When you get your income, you put part of your income aside. Hello? Am I clear?
Yes, we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear
We're
me?
still with you.
All right, thank you. So you put part of the income aside, and then you wait for business opportunities. Please be careful of Ponzi scheme that will make people to sweat and gather things together, and in a split of a second, everything is gone. So we will also talk about that even on this presentation. So though it's not in the concept of my presentation, but I'll just make mention of one or two financial issues that, because we are talking about literacy, knowledge. All right, so individuals with high financial literacy, like I said, they have they are more likely to have retirement plans and save for emergencies. Now, so what are the importance of financial literacy? We say it helps individuals to make informed financial decisions. All right, so if you don't just bring out money and do things. You say they want to do something, say I don't have the money, let me go and borrow. You borrow, and then you first of all sit down to count the cost. I want to do this thing. For example, let's say wedding. People will just come and go and spend all their life saving and then go and borrow to do a wedding ceremony. That is just for a day. Then after the wedding ceremony, they begin to beg for bread to eat, for food to eat, just because they are not financially literate. So financial literacy will help an individual to make informed decision. Informed decision means you are making a decision based on a particular knowledge that you have. All right. So somebody who wants to get married is not waiting for the day of marriage. Then he go and pluck money from a tree. Probably has a means of putting the money together. To organize a wedding ceremony. But people do it. You understand? Anybody can do it too. It's just about planning. You understand? People buy car even when times are hard. People build houses. Some of them, it's not that they really have the money, just because they're financially literate. All right? They put some part of their earnings somewhere. Some people put it in cooperative. They put it in cooperative. Some cooperative, if you want to take loan, you can take times 2. You don't have a means of servicing the loan, and you don't take loan to buy or to incur.
Hello, Mr. Tommy. Are you still on the call? All right. I believe we've lost our speaker due to network challenge. Will join us shortly as soon as he's able to get his network connectivity back on. Apologies for the inconvenience. While we wait for the speaker to reconnect to join the call back, I will just do a brief highlight of what he has said so far, particularly for those who are just joining in. So the topic we are discussing today is financial literacy. Welcome to overcoming Sapa. And Sapa I would say is a word in Nigeria here, which means financial hardship, and it's also used to mimic poverty as well. So the speaker, while he was giving his presentation before he dropped off, explained financial literacy as having the right tool, knowledge, understanding financial concepts, which guides us in making informed decisions about managing our personal finances. He talked on budgeting as a tool, and why talking about budgeting, he hinted on the key principle of budgeting, which is the 50-30-20 principle, where 50% of our income should be allocated for our regular expenses, for our regular transactions, for our daily spending, while 30% should be set aside for our needs. And when we look at needs are those things that are very important or pressing for us to purchase. You can look at need as probably your house rent. You can look at need as probably the payments for groceries purchased, payment for data, because data is life, and that's decade that we are in right now. And you also the 20% is now to be set aside for investing. And now talking about investing, he touched on the fact that Ponzi scheme should be avoided. Ponzi scheme isn't a credible investment alternative. It's more like a trap that kind of steals away from an individual a sweat, because for every penny you earn is a result of a sweat that you've incurred yourself. A sweat put in to perform a task or to do a job that got you rewarded. So that penny being lost into an investment, I won't call it an investment anymore. Let me just call it a sham investment, or what better word should I use? So he talked on avoiding Ponzi as an investment alternative. All right, so those were some of his points before he got disconnected from the call. We still await him joining back. while we still expect the speaker to join us soon, in case if you have questions, you can jot them down. There'll be an opportunity for us to ask our questions before the end of the call. Please, if you're just joining in, please, can you mute yourself if you're just joining in? Thank you. Please, if you're just joining in, please mute yourself. Thank you. Speaker is having some network issues and he's going to have that sorted out very soon. He's going to join us back on the call to continue with this session.
Talking to myself.
All right, so you can go ahead, Mr. Tommy.
All right, do you permit, please allow me to share my screen.
All right, you can go ahead now. You can go ahead to share screen now. I've made
Okay,
the calls.
thank you. Thank you. So I was talking about the importance of financial literacy, and I said that it helps us to make informed financial decision. I didn't know if you hear me say that before I went off the call. I said it helps us to reduce financial anxiety. So let's resonate with Mubarak's story. He probably was anxious about the program. How do I go? How do I gather this money? I want to go for this program. I want to go for this program. You understand? If there had been a plan before that time and there had been some emergency accumulation of funds, then it would have reduced him of the stress. Maybe he would just be looking for a little amount of money to complete what he has to go for that program. Then we say it also increases savings and investment. So if you have sufficient financial literacy, you understand, and you know that you have to save for rainy season. So when you earn, you will not consume everything. I took a ride today in drive, and then the guy has the sky is very very fine. The guy looks okay, but then he's telling me he lives in a particular area. He does not live in another particular area because his salary is not up to that level. And I'm like, oh really? You look like a big boy. And they say his wisdom, he cannot carry all the money and be there. He knows how much he has, so he has to manage that. Won't he save? Then I now know that, okay, yeah, this person is speaking my language. You understand? So that guy to me is financially smart. All right, because you understand that even though he has the means, or maybe he has a little bit of fast salary, if he does not properly budget and then inculcate saving and investment, he would end up losing everything. Then they will get to a point that even that car he has, he will have to sell to survive. You understand? So that's why it is important to be financially literate. It also helps us to prepare for emergencies. So when you have some savings somewhere, you have something to fall back on. when some very, very degrading situation comes that you just have to meet. If you don't meet them, they can disgrace you. You understand? There's something to fall back on. So this is one of the importance of financial literacy. Then overall, it gives us a healthy life. It improves our well-being. When you are financially, it's not that you are the richest man. It's not that you are the Dangote. You understand? But because you have your finances in check, you have them organized. You understand? So you look comfortable. And then people sees you from outside and they think, oh, that guy is a big man. That lady is a big woman. She has money. He has money. But they may even be earning more than you earn. It's just that you are financially literate and you identify your needs. You know the difference between your needs and your wants. You can track your inflow and you can also track your expenses because they are budgeted already. You understand? So these are the importance of financial literacy. And then, can you still see my screen? So next is what are the possible causes of Sapa? You look at the image I have there, those children that are stretching their plate, empty plate, begging for food. You understand? We have seen celebrities who we assume to be rich at a point in time. And then at this point in time of their life, maybe when they have grown, we see them not literally, but something we can describe as this stretching for their empty pants, begging for money from the poor masses, from the poor Nigerians who are merciful, who may want to, help them out. Why? Because they did not properly manage their finances when they had the money coming in. They didn't think of tomorrow. They didn't think of when they will settle down. They want to meet up with the Joneses. They want to, meet up with a particular standard, and they threw caution into the air. They spend money, they lavish money, and then we begin to hate them. This guy has money, this guy has money, and that man is killing himself financially. And then at the end of time, when he can no longer go and perform, and he can no longer act movie, and he can no longer do that thing that brings the fame and the money, and then he has to fall back to something. There is nothing to fall back on. You understand? So now, what are the possible causes of Sapa? Number one, limited financial resources. All right. Let me take you through 5 categories of financial status. I will start from the list, from the bottom up. We have those who are in financial crisis. These people, they don't have anything they earn, like the beggars we see on the street. They don't have any, so they are only living at the mercy of people, at the mercy of the crumbs that falls from people. Those ones are in financial crisis. Then we have those who are financially, uh, struggling. They're struggling financially. They have earnings, but their earnings is not sufficient to cater for their basic needs. In a time like this, somebody is earning 20,000, and maybe he has wife and a child, or say 50,000, and maybe he has a wife and a child or 2 children. You understand? And he's earning 50,000. He has to pay house rent, transport himself to work, look at cost of food now, and all of that. So this can lead somebody to suffer, you understand, limited financial resources. So people in that cadre, all right, that second to the last cadre from the bottom, who are financially unstable, they are they can be categorized into this category. They have limited financial resources, and that's why they are always, before salary comes, their salary is 50,000 naira. Before salary comes, they are borrowed 100,000 naira. So they are living from hand to mouth, and then they are just trying to survive. They are working. They wake up in the morning, they say they are going to work, but they are struggling, and they are just waiting for a day of redemption. You understand? So this kind of thing is what cause Sapa. Another category above them are those who are financially stable, like the likes of us, who have a job and maybe we get some couple of 6 digits, and we seem to be okay. We can cater for our needs. We can pay our rent comfortably. We can even ride car. We can even buy food. We can even fuel our cars, fuel our jet, and it's as if everything is fine. But let them sack them from that job. Let them lose that job. Everything goes back to square one. These ones are financially stable, but it's temporary. It's just because they have a job. You understand? And then the next one is those who are financially independent. You understand? These guys, they have acquired assets that they don't have to work. They don't have to work. They don't have to be waking up in the morning and saying they are going to work. They have acquired assets and investments that caters for them. These ones are financially independent. Then those who are financial freedom, these are the big guys, you understand? They are philanthropists, they have the likes of Bill Gates, they even give money for missions, give money to nations, you understand? And they won't feel it, you understand? So these are, I just digress a bit. Those are the category of financial status. So the one I actually want to talk about, why I had to go that is the one of the second to the last from the bottom. This ones who are financially unstable. You understand? Their earning is not sufficient, but they want to live big. You understand? So, and many people are like that. Even those who are earning well, they want to live big. I remember the story of Alexandra Song of Arsenal and Thierry Henry. Some of us who are on the call who are familiar with, who likes football, may know about that story. Alexandra Song is a junior footballer. Thierry Henry is a senior footballer. His salary is far, far more than Alexandra Song. Thierry Henry bought a vehicle, Song to went to buy. He wanted to meet up with the Joneses. And then I was reading this interview. He said at a point in time, he could not finance that car again. He has to take that car back and say, give me a Toyota. You understand? And eventually today, there's news that, I said, Alexander, so you have to return the car. Today, Alexander Son is nowhere, struggling financially. These are boys who have earned thousands of pounds. You understand? Hundreds of thousands of pounds. And then today, they are struggling to survive. You understand? Lack of financial literacy. They want to live above their means. So they have limited financial resources, but yet they want to live above their means. This is one of the things that cause Sapa. Next, that's why I don't struggle with people when they say this is what I can afford. They're very good. So next, lack of financial knowledge. Lack of financial knowledge. You don't know there's somebody says that I cannot see it. If I put money together, one day I want to touch it. Have you heard of Carrywise? Where you can lock your savings. If you are the one that you can't discipline yourself for saving, you can use Carrywise. Lock your savings. Say you don't want to access the savings for the next 6 months. And then you connect it to your bank account every month. When your salary comes in, let them deduct this amount. You are disciplining yourself for saving. You say you don't know how to save. Have you heard of piggy vest? You say you don't know how to save. Have you heard of high invest? High invest is the product of partner where I work. I work in a partner, and then the arm of partner where I work is a fintech. And our product is high invest. Do you understand? They offer a kind of saving whereby you can only access your money 4 times in a year. And that's 3 months, only 4 times a year. So if you start saving in January, you cannot access your money until the end of March or April 1st. Like that, you can be disciplined. And then they don't just want to lock out your money outright, so that maybe in case of emergency, you know. So all of these kind of financial products can help you to discipline yourself. But people who don't have this knowledge, they say they want to buy colo. They don't even want to go to the bank. Bank will deduct maintenance charges. We deduct all this money. Let me buy the olden days piggy bank, colo, and put it there. Then they are putting the money there. Then one day, the man feels like going to the club, or he wants to take his family out to, or he just wants to do something that is not a need, that is just a want. And then he carries the piggy bank. He breaks it, he pulls out the money, he spends it, then he comes back, and there's an emergency. There's nothing to fall back on. Lack of financial knowledge. When you can buy a saving product, you can have a disciplined saving, you can buy fixed deposit. You can, like in times like this, you can buy, treasury bills, fixed deposit, so that you can take advantage of increased interest rate. You understand? But nothing. And then at the end of the day, the money comes now, you just blow, wow. And then tomorrow, I don't care. So next, another cause of Sapa is poor financial decisions. Some people will save money, and then they just hear of one scheme. Say if you put 10,000, you collect 100,000. You say you don't mean it. You say I have 500,000, and then you put the money there. Bam! I made a silly decision too. Let me share my experience with you. I'm the person who was saying when dollar was rising that dollar is going to hit 1,005, it's going to hit 1,008. I did not buy dollar then. Then I thought the prime of dollar was 1,008 from my own perspective to 1,008. That by the time it gets to 1,008, the federal government will stand up to defend their currency, and then it will now retract backward. So I say, okay. But when it crosses 1,008, I say, no, this guy may be going for 2,002 or 2,500. Let me buy. And as soon as I bought, the following day, Naira retracted backward. And in a split of second, I lost almost 100,000 before I quickly pull out my money, because I saw it very clearly because of all of the policies. The government was busy making policies, ruling the change, financial institution, this one and that. They were making policies that triggered the retraction from 1,009 to 950. So I was very, very proactive. As soon as the thing fell back to how many 1,000 something, I think 1,007. So I quickly pull out my money and had lost hundreds of thousands. Lost about close to 100,000 or more. I think more. You understand? So because of poor financial decision. But that one is that cannot completely be said to be poor because it was that's an attitude of that you lose, you gain. But let me now paint one very clear example of poor financial decision. You have saved up, and they tell you that if you put 1,000 naira somewhere, you get 10,000 naira. You did not ask question. You did not have. In fact, bankers even. I was surprised one day when somebody who works in the bank said she fell for a Ponzi scheme that she lost this amount of money. Really, somebody who even works in the financial institution, greed. Some of us, because of greed, we just take poor financial decisions. Even when we have the financial literate, when we are financially literate. You understand? So poor financial decision can also take someone back to square one. We have seen people who, just because of a decision, a financial decision they made, they have gone back to their village. So another cause of Sapa is increased debt and financial struggle. Somebody just accumulating debt because he has access to it. It's accumulating debt. There were times when Palm Pay and all of this debt company, they will just be calling you. You just want to remind that you can take debt. For what? And then somebody sees that and puts, let me take, and then you take from here, you take from here. You have forgotten that you will pay back. And when it's time to pay, this one is holding you, this one is holding you, and then what you are earning cannot even. And then by the time you are trying to settle this one, as a person, I try as much as possible to avoid debt, because debt repayment, affects your finances. So I only take debt if I'm buying an asset, something that will bring back money, or if I'm buying something that I know that is subject to inflation, price inflation. I know that this thing, a few days time, the prices will go up. I don't have the money to buy it, and I know that I'll buy it. I can take debt to buy it just to hedge against that inflation, the possible inflation. So this is the reason why people should take debt. Don't take debt because you want to do party. Don't take debt because you want to go to the club. Take debt because you want to buy, something that is really not worth it. You understand? So don't be like the federal government of Nigeria that borrows to park private jets for something million, borrow to buy cars for executive members who already have, God knows how many number of cars they already have. You understand? So the federal government borrow, fine, but they are borrowing to, for recurrent expenditures. And that's why we are not seeing the effect of the borrowing in the country. They are not borrowing to revive factories. They are not borrowing to inject the economy. So these are the possible causes of Sapa. Now, how can we come out of this pit? We have seen possible reasons why people fall into that pit called Sapa. Now, how can they trace their way out of it? First of all, you need to acquire financial knowledge. I just mentioned Carry-wise, I just mentioned piggy bank, just mentioned I invest, just mentioned retire saving plan, just mentioned, you know, ways you can just be a little bit smart about your finances. Just mention treasury bills, just mention fixed deposits. If you are somebody if you are risk averse, you cannot take too much of risk, then go into debt investment, bonds, treasury bills, and the likes, commercial paper. If you are the one that you are a big risk taker, then you can go into forex and all those uh, very, very risky investments. But you're on your own too. But if you are risk averse, just uncoded, go into all these moderate risky investments, and then everything will fall in line eventually. So how do we come out of this? Acquire proper financial knowledge and skill. The most important you need to have is budgeting, savings, budgeting and savings, budgeting and savings. You understand? You need to have this too. So it is when you have savings and you see a legit investment opportunity, that's when you can now put money. But sometimes legit investment opportunity comes, but you don't have money to invest. Legit comes, you don't have money to invest. There's an opportunity for a land going very cheap. Legit, there's no money to buy. You understand? So, but if you have proper financial knowledge, you will take very, very seriously budgeting and savings. Let them call you a miser. If you are a man, let your wife may call you a miser. If you're a woman, your husband will say, everything must be, it has to be planned. It has to be planned. I told my fiance, I said, all of these things have to be planned. You don't just come and hit into budget like that. Once the money comes, this is how much we have. This is how much. This is how we are spending this month. Any other expense, and then we have a small amount of money we call emergency. So any emergency that comes that is above that money we set apart, sorry, we cannot help. We can take loan if it's something that has to do with a life and that we didn't plan for. Can take source for loan and then look for how to, but you just have to be very conscious about your budget. Some people budget, but they are not disciplined. They go above their budget. That is why you see organizations. There is no organization that will not make it compulsory for each department to have a budget. And they'll be very, 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 very critical about each department, spending within their budget. You understand? So you don't always go way above your budget. You are not disciplined. Next, that's creating a budget and saving plan. Carry-wise can help you. Piggyvest can help you. High Invest app can help you. Invest wisely and manage debt. Invest wisely. Invest wisely. If you are not, don't go and put your money in forex and then you are having high blood pressure. Don't go and put your money. You are not a full-time trader. You are somebody who is busy. You have a business. You are an employee. You are investing in forex. You don't have time to monitor trends. You understand? And then you have gone to take the signal of a day trader or a minute trader, and you are there in the office. You are busy working. You didn't have time to go and stop your trade and then take your profit, and then you need all of your money is gone. You have to invest wisely. Invest wisely. It's not every scheme that comes. You should put your money. Investigate them. What is their source? La Buena Vida, and they say this one Davido advertise for them. This one, this. Do you investigate them? When people bring this thing to me, one thing I ask is, how does the money flow? How does the money flow? So if you cannot give me a proper explanation of the inflow and outflow of the money, and it is not justified, then it's a Ponzi scheme as far as I'm concerned. Next, you have to learn to manage your debt properly. Manage your debt properly. Don't take debt that you know that you cannot repay comfortably. Take debt that you know that you can service with some percentage of your income, and you will still be able to you need to be able to live very well, comfortably. So that's financial stability and security. Sometimes some of us may have to take up new skill to get new jobs. Some of us will be talking about side hustles. Some of us will be talking about, okay, you are a teacher, you can make hair, and then you see that your income is not meeting up with your expenses. It's not meeting up with your commitment. You can make hair. All right, how about making of hair? That's another source of income. All right. How about getting 1 or 2 home lessons? Another source of income. You understand? So that's another way of coming out of Sapa. Before you know it, you are able to cover up your expenses. You have come out of that hardship. Now, what are the benefits of financial literacy? We already mentioned many of them in the importance. We say it improves our financial stability and security. You don't have to fear. Sometimes when I go to the supermarket and I don't have much money, I'm conscious about what I pick. But when I know that my card is there's money in my card, I just go there. I just pick, and I go to the cashier and then I pay. You understand? With confidence. But when the money there is just like small money, and then you are careful, you check the price of each of the market, each of the things you are picking. I hope this is not okay. I can still take this. I've taken up to this amount. I need this one now that will complete it. You understand? But when you are financially literate, you understand, there will be confidence in your expenses. You are not spending more than. There are some expenses that you will just let go, not because you don't want it, but because you know you cannot meet up to it. So you let it go, and you will still be comfortable and secure. You will not be the one that is running after the justice. You are trying to catch up. You are trying to, if you have financial literacy. Now, it also increases our savings and investment. It reduces our debt. If you are financially literate, you may not have to be taking up debt every time. A salary has not come. Month just started. Salary has finished. You have even borrowed. And then next month salary, that has been borrowed. And there's somebody waiting to collect the debt back. And then the money comes, you used to pay debt, you have borrowed another one. You understand? It's lack of financial literacy. So one benefit that gives is that it reduces debt and financial stress. You also have, and trust me, financial stress is a very crazy stress that so anybody wants to have. You will just be, when I don't have money like this, it's as if I'm sick. Or when I lack liquidity, money, it's as if I'm sick. You understand? So adequate retirement plan. So if you are financially literate, you'll be able to plan adequately for retirement. You understand? We have some of these big celebrities who are retired and we are not hearing them because they are comfortable where they are. While we have some, after all the flamboyant life they have lived, now they are old and then they are wretched. You understand? So because you don't have financial literacy. So when you have financial literacy, you'll be able to plan adequately for retirement. Maybe by setting up a small business, by investing in some maybe some 5 years investment plan that by that time would have yield a lot of returns and all of that. So now we have said too much today. We have talked about how important financial literacy is about. We have defined financial literacy as the understanding of financial concepts and practices that can help individuals to manage their finances so that they can stay above hardship. Sapa. We have considered the benefits, we have considered the importance, we have even considered reasons why people fall into hardship, and we have also considered how to come out of this hardship. And now I'm putting a call to action to you, to myself, that we should take control of our finances because our finances are life, and so we should take full control of our finances today and start to build a brighter financial future. If you want to make goals, let the goals be smart. You can aim, but make sure it's within your means. Let the goal be smart. Let it be specific. Let it be measurable. Let it be attainable. You are earning 100,000. You say you want to buy private jet. Earning 100,000. How do you want to get it? So make sure your goal is smart, is specific, is measurable, is attainable, is realistic, and it is time bound. So I'm calling you to action to take control, take full charge of your finance today and build a brighter future for yourself, for your unborn children, and for the next generation. Let me quickly tell you the story of Obafemi Awolowo. The point, I don't know if it still stands. At the point in time, I heard that the family of Obafemi Awolowo earns a percentage on every bottle of Coca-Cola sold in Nigeria. Their father is long dead. This is a family, this is generational wealth because their father was financially smart. When he was bringing Coca-Cola, they wanted to offer him money, say he does not want. This is what I want. For every bottle of Coca-Cola you sell in Nigeria, you give me this percentage. As at that time, the money may be very small. But can you see now how far and how much the family will be earning? You understand? Somebody, they can ask somebody, but what if I make you a director of a company, a partner of a company, or we should pay you 50 million? He said, pay me 50 million. 50 million that may be worth nothing in a few years' time. But if you are a partner of the company, you share in the profit of the company, where there is a risk attached to that. Because if the company liquidates or go bankrupt, you are affected. But if the company scale, you are a big man. You understand? So please, let's take control of our finance today, and let's always think of the future. Yeah, we will not die young, so let's plan for tomorrow. Thank you very much. So before we go out, take
All
questions
right,
if
thank you
we
very
have
much,
questions.
Mr. Tony. Thank you very, very much for the session and for sharing those powerful tips on budgeting and managing debts and also planning ahead. And I'm giving instances of some platform where we can use to control our excessive spending for those who are not disciplined with cash. So you mentioned Piggyvest, Cowrywise, and other platforms for managing savings. All right, so participants, if you have any question for our speaker, uh, can you indicate your digital hands we can call on you? We're already against time, so can we have those questions quickly if you have any? Anyone?
Are you asking me a question?
Okay, so I was trying to ask if any of the participants have a question, but
Okay,
there isn't any for now. But I have a question myself. Me myself, I have a question. And my question
okay,
is, I understand you've given a disclaimer that this is not a financial. This session is not a session where you talk about investment schemes that we should delve into. But just want to just you to look at the future now. We back then in the past, making money as a worker, you're looking at probably just saving or maybe having some minor investment in shares and the likes. But now the future now lies with uh cryptos, lies with other financial assets. So what's your view? Do you see this as an opportunity for younger guys, especially when you look at younger guys, they are not too concerned about shares these days because they feel it's more manipulated. So they are more interested in forex, crypto, and other means of NFTs and other means of making quick cash. And truth be told, crypto at times have made some people accidental millionaires. So, what's your view about all of these opportunities for this century or for this era we are in right now?
all right. Thank you very much, Mubarak. Uh, like I said, everything boils down to your risk appetite. All right. Cryptocurrency is is a digital currency. You understand? The reason why countries discourage it is because it's a decentralized system and they don't have control over it, and it can be used for terrorist funding, and then the activities that go around cryptocurrency, the apex bank of that country may not be able to monitor it. That is the reason why countries seem to be putting up policies against cryptocurrency, but it is a legitimate investment. Are you getting it now? So whoever is wanting to, take advantage of the opportunities in cryptocurrency is fine. But first of all, you need to consider your risk appetite. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you need to consider your risk appetite. Are you an aggressive risk taker or you are risk averse? If you're an aggressive risk taker, then you can take up investment like forex and cryptocurrency that have high risk. All right. So just like you have said, people have become accidental millionaires, and because they have made a lot of money from all of these NFTs and the cryptocurrencies. But if you don't have um, the appetite, risk appetite to absorb the kind of high level of risk that is inherent in the forex market and the cryptocurrency market, then it should be somewhere somebody should stay off from, because your health is also your wealth. You understand? It's also the money, it's also money. So it's something you should stay away from. But if you think you are aggressive with risk and you want to involve in it, very fine. The first thing you should do is to acquire knowledge about cryptocurrency. Invest in getting the knowledge. How do I enter into the market? How do I take my profits? How do I do my risk analysis? How do I do all of this and all of that? So I think it's a very good investment strategy for the young people who are thinking of the future. Understand? So, but when you make all of this money, you cannot leave them on the cryptocurrency. You understand? My most treasured investment is real estate. That's personally. So, if I was into cryptocurrency and all of these things, as soon as I make those bulk, I pull them out, buy myself some real estate, buy land and build houses, and then give them for lease. I continue trading. You understand? Because cryptocurrency and all forex, they are not something somebody wants to live on for life. Like they are not stable. They are not. It's not something you can rely on. You get. So when you are when you involve in all of this, you are thinking of something more realistic. Understand? You make the money, then you pull it out, buy the treasury bills. You pull
Right.
it
Yeah.
out,
Thank you.
invest in real estate.
Thank
You
you, Mr.
understand?
Domin. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I think there's also another question. So let's just take that
Okay.
quickly because of time. David Yusuf, please, you can unmute and ask your question.
All right, thank you. Good evening to the speaker and good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me. All right, so I have a question, and it borders around starting out in investing as a young person that is still single. Like, what amount would you recommend to start out with? It's like trying the waters for the first time. Is it like 500,000, a million, or more?
What if I recommend a million and you have more? Or what if I recommend a million and you have less? So it's relative, you understand? So it depends on what you have and the type of investment you want to invest in. So since the person is trying it out for the first time, I think the first kind of investment that person will want to consider is something like um, all this all the savings that they have on Cowrywise, all the savings they have on uh, Piggy Invest and their Invest and the likes, and then maybe something that is moderate in risk. You understand?
Yeah.
Or partnership in a business. There's somebody who has a business, he has shared business like that. You have seen the possibility of this business flying and then making waves, and then you want to be part of it. But as a young person just starting and also scared of losing his saving and wants to plan for the future, all right, you want to have a safe investment. You understand? Not a risky, you don't want to invest in risky assets. You understand? You want to have a safe investment. So you can invest in mutual fund. Stocks now are, like my friend said, that because of the belief the stock is manipulated, but it's not so actually. It's just the difficulty and complexity in the business environment. And it's something of demand and supply. So, but then somebody who is just starting out as a bachelor should consider the 30, 20, 50, 30, 20 rule. And then if your 20 is your investment, then maybe you want to, save that in a kind of savings that you can lock, and then it will be accumulating interest, or a fixed deposit note, or a treasury bills and a fixed deposit note, that rates are high because of the federal government policy that that increases the NPR. So this is the highest that's been ever. You understand? So you want to take advantage of that. But in a nutshell, seek for safe investments. Since the person is just a first timer, safe investment. The person should not just jump into forex. If you want to jump into forex, maybe you'll be doing something like copy trading. You understand? You look for an expert and then you copy their trade. You understand? Something like that. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much, David, for asking your question. I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much, participants, for joining. And once again, we also apologize for starting a bit late than scheduled. And to our speaker, big thank you to you for
My
coming
pleasure.
here with us. This beautiful insight and knowledge, particularly on this financial literacy. So I believe we have been empowered. We now have the weapon. It's now left for us to use that weapon to our advantage to ensure we don't fall into the pit of Sapa and we pay afloat our debts, our expenses, and the like. And we attain that financial freedom. We all believe we need to attain that financial freedom. We always plan for. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Tommy, for coming on board, and thank you very much. We wish you the very best, and we would love to have you again, particularly probably maybe for a similar topic. We'd love to have you again.
No problem about that.
Thank you very much, everyone,
Thank
and
you
have
very
a
much.
great night.
Pleasure. My regards
Good
to
night.
the members of the board and everyone else.
All right. Thank you very much.
And thank you.